This is Dorothy Simon sitting in for Jim Lakey over here at Cable Channel 3. We serve the St. John Maxwell area in the county of Stafford. And you can also see us anytime during the day, 24/7, we like to say, at sandylandcenter.org. And you can come over and join us for coffee on the south side of the square. I'd like to invite you for that warm, inviting cup of coffee. It is really good. And on a cold winter's morning like today, do come over and join us. And our weather for today, Monday, February the 2nd, the National Weather Service headline news is the strong storm system moving across the central and eastern U.S. The storm is called Linus, and the main weather story across the continental U.S. will be a strengthening surface low pressure from the central plains to the east for the next several days. This will be a powerful winter storm from the Midwest to the near northeast USA, bringing up to 12 inches of snow in some places. In our area, to the south, we can expect some rain at times and even some sleet. But currently, though, on the sunny skies, it's 22 degrees, and it is much warmer than the 9 degrees it was earlier today. So that's good. That's good for us. Today, Monday, it should remain mostly sunny with the high at 45 degrees. And the wind chill as low as 0, and the light west wind coming in from the southwest becoming south southerly at 11 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, Monday night, it could be partly cloudy with the low at 26, and the wind at the southwest pattern at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow is a warming trend, that's hopeful. It should see highs of 58 degrees, but it should remain quite sunny. And the light wind from about 9 to 40 miles per hour coming in southwesterly pattern again and turning southerly as the day goes on. Tomorrow night, it should be partly cloudy with the low near 26 degrees Fahrenheit. And the wind southwesterly at 5 to 7 miles per hour, and should become a little bit calmer tomorrow night. Wednesday, we should see a 20% chance of snow in the afternoon with a high of 33, and Wednesday night, a 30% chance of snow, mainly before midnight, with a low at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the weekend, Friday should be sunny, 53 degrees for the high, and the night, a low of 33 degrees, and the sky should remain mainly clear on Friday night. Saturday, it should be sunny and warmer at 62. 62 sounds very warm with these cold temperatures. So, sunny at 62 degrees on Saturday, and Saturday night, the low at about 37 degrees. Sunday, it should be just about the same, right at 60, 63 degrees on Sunday, and sunny. So warming over the weekend. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, their motto is saving lives and protecting people. And they have, on a weekly basis, the update of what's happening with the diseases for our interest. And a summary of their weekly flu view, they call it flu view. According to the CDC flu view report, flu activity is widespread in most of the U.S., and the severity indicators are high. The hospitalization rate for people 65 years and older is the highest recorded since the CDC began tracking this information. The flu activity has been elevated for 10 consecutive weeks nationally, and the proportion of deaths attributed to pneumonia and influenza remains high and above the epidemic threshold of 7.1%. So we have an epidemic of flu currently going all across the country. The influenza that we're seeing right now is caused by the H3N2 viruses and have been the most common in the US this season. The H3N2 viruses also affect children under 2 years old. And in a letter to the vaccine providers, it states that primarily the vaccine effectiveness of 23% indicates that the vaccine is working less well this season. So the CDC is recommending prompt antiviral treatment of the severely ill and high-risk patients. And high risks for this flu are those over 65 and the toddlers 2 years and under. A visit to the WebMD website suggests calling your doctor at the first signs of the flu, such as widespread body aches and fever above 102. If taken within 48 hours at the onset of flu, symptoms for flu medications may be able to shorten the duration of the flu. So as soon as you see your body temperature going high, if you have a fever, you need to take your flu medications within that 48-hour time frame. If the flu has taken its toll on your throat and it's hard to swallow, sip some hot chicken soup. This will increase the activity of your antiviral immune cells, producing mucus, a stimulant that will protect the body from bacteria and virus. Season the soup with cayenne peppers because the capsaicin in the pepper reduces congestion as effectively as over-the-counter medications. So there's a flu virus, do all you can to prevent the virus from taking hold by taking your medications within that 48-hour period. So, mark your calendars, like I like to remind you. For today, February the 2nd, the Sunflower over the Sunflower Center is a monthly potluck supper. Bring a dish or two to share good food, fun, and fellowship. That's always good over there. And it's amazing the different foods that people bring. It's very enjoyable. Mark your calendars also for some birthdays. Yesterday, February the 1st, it was Greg Fisher's birthday, Joe Snyder, and Norma Gray. Today, Monday, February the 2nd, it's Marlies Lakey. On Wednesday, February the 4th, it will be Luann Fisher and Dorothy Bliss. And on February the 6th, it's Garland Mansell and Barbara Watson. February the 8th, it will be Trey Nelson, Connie Edwards, and Jessie Van Doren. And on February the 8th also, it will be Jim and Marlies Laker's anniversary. So do mark your calendars and send them cards, flowers, telephone calls, and good wishes for their birthdays and Jim and Marlies' happy anniversary. Mark your calendars also for February the 9th, because that's when the prayer repap. And do remember, we do that work over here at the Shepherd Center. Call us on 620-549-6351. This month they have a great February specials. There's a great chicken breast fillet special, and there's a great salmon fillet special, and there's a great breakfast box special for the prairie pack. And you must order that by February the 9th for pickup on February the 20th here at the Shepherd Center at 2:30 p.m. So mark your calendars. Very, very good. The service that the Prairie Land food, as they say, is for everyone. So don't go without. We can help you over here. That's what we do. We serve. Mark your calendars also for the service that the Maxwell Center offers for their lunch service. Today they're serving up green beans with rolls, strawberries, and pea tetrazzini. Tomorrow they're serving up some oven fried chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, and a tossed salad. And on Friday they're serving up some good baked fish fillets, Brussels sprouts, and Harvard beets. And as well, they will have all the condiments, breads, tea, coffee, milk to go with that. So mark your calendars and don't forget to give them a call. They're happy to provide you a warm lunch in the middle of the day. And that would be very good in this cold weather. And our thought for today is a food for thought. And it's about spices for life. Garlic has antimicrobial effects, and it is good for stimulating the immune system. It gives relief to the upper respiratory congestion that comes with colds and flus. Ginger stimulates the nerves that lead to mucus formation, and ginger has an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory effect. It's stimulating the production of interferon that helps to fight off viral bacteria. And horseradish contains a chemical similar to the one that's found in decongestions. And oregano, or oregano, however you pronounce it, is a potent antiviral and antibacterial, antifungal, and antiparasitic that can reduce pain and inflammation and effectively fight off infections. It is an excellent early defense mechanism when you have a cold or sore throat, and a wonderful remedy for sinus infections. It contains essential oils that may kill foodborne pathogens like Listeria, and it may kill the superbug MRSA, and that one you'll often get it when you enter the hospital, and the infection you may get during that hospitalization. So these are just some good spices with this epidemic of flu going around that you may want to incorporate in your cooking. So spice up your cooking for healthy living. And that's our thought for today. Good afternoon and keep warm.
This is your story.
This is your story.
This is your story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
But most of all,
this is the greatest story ever told.
This is God's story.
This is God's story.
This is God's story.
I know you're going to enjoy the incredible journey you're about to embark on. The story is brimming over with tales of mystery, intrigue, adventure, of love, heartbreak, and triumph, of power, of struggle, and finally, of redemption. But remember, the Bible is not 100 ancient, unrelated paintings, but a mural all knitted together to tell the story of God's great love for us and the extent to which He will go to get us back. I know you're really going to enjoy and appreciate this wonderful experience as you fully explore how we all fit into the greatest story ever told, God's story.
This is God's story.
This is God's story.
This is God's story.
I'm Ray Davidson, pastor of First Southern Baptist Church here in St. John on the corner of 2nd and Exchange. We would like to invite you to come and join with us as we look at God's story, the story of God's interaction with man. We'll begin on September the 7th at 9:30 a.m. with a worship service, followed by at 10:30 with Sunday school. This is a study for everyone in the family. All of the children, young people, adults will be studying the same lesson so that we can talk about it at home as we go through the week. We invite you again to come and join us on this 31-week study of God's story and man's story.